Hello, Camaro Bruce here from sunny Nebraska. This is the first week in March. We're getting excited about the up and coming motorcycle season, from cruising out on the roads to some of the classic bikes, doing some drag racing always. There's a couple changes in the drag strips around here, so we're hoping that that's going to be a positive. We're really disappointed about Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas closing down. That was one of my favorite places to go and ride the sport bikes. So hopefully I-29 is going to make some changes in Pacific Junction, Iowa, and fix up their road course from the flood of about 5 years ago. And we're going to be able to go and do some track days on that. So I'm just going to kind of give you an update on what we're doing in the shop here, go through a couple of the bikes, and we're going to be doing some individual reviews on some of the bikes that I have for their different purposes. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video clip. I'm getting ready to do a walk around and a startup on a couple of different Hayabusas. And I'll cover that more in general. You know, this is one of the first drag bikes that I bought, and has just been an amazing bike for me. It's a 2001 kind of customized Hayabusa with the paint and wheels and some of the small mods, but it's basically running a stock engine. And like I said, I'll be doing a more detailed walkthrough and a startup. The old Z1 there is just the go-to cruiser, and I've already driven it to work a few times this year on some nicer days. A couple of the Suzukis, the 2020 GSX R 1000R, an amazing track bike. We've had some great days in Hastings and Heartland Park on this, and I love riding these bikes on track days. We really put a test to the tires. Hastings is a little bit of an abrasive track, so it has a tendency of chomping the tires a little bit. And my son really likes coming along with me. He typically rides the GSX-R 600. But also just an amazing, powerful bike. The nimbleness of this bike is just a pleasure to drive on the track. I've been working on a lot of the bikes just in the off season, going through, giving them a thorough clean, checking the clutch, changing the oil, just getting them totally for the up and coming drag days. This bike is just a great bike that I bought for my friend Craig. It really surprised me. Ran a 6.33 and a 10.89 in the quarter mile. Just a relentless bike that is so dependable to drag race. Just with a few mods on that stock engine with the ECU flash, air shifter, the right gearing for it. Just the bike just does what it's supposed to all the time. This is just another 2004 GSX-R 1000. I kind of like the blue Suzuki theme for sure. And other than probably has a power commander in it and a custom exhaust, this is a little bit more comfortable to cruise on than the newer bikes. And we did a few track days with it too. It's lacking a little bit, because it is a 2003 in the braking department, but just runs some great laps. This is my friend Neil's old school drag bike. It's got a wheelie bar. There's a few clips of it going down the drag strip, a couple with me on it, that just was a very thrilling ride. It's a very fast bike. It still runs a 5.8 in the 8th mile, and it just rips on the launch. It will give you a 1.360 foot. We've got an older Suzuki over here in the works. Don't really know what to do with it. It's got a beefed up engine, bored out with some cams in it, and it's a ripper. But sometimes there's a few too many bikes to figure out what to do with them all the time. Just another classic cruiser is this 1998 GSXR 1100, 100% stock. I picked this bike up. It had 2,800 miles on it. And, obviously we had to go through the brakes, carburetors, flushing brake fluid, oil changes, new tires on it. And it just, it's a pleasure to cruise on. Although it does really have a cramped knee position on it. It really puts your knees up in your chest. But other than that, it's a real nice bike to cruise on. This bike is a 2008. It's the first of the Gen 2 Hayabusas. Obviously set up for drag racing. We had some good results with it, with the auto shift, and it has a Penske shock on it. Not as good as times as I would like. We tried the nitrous, and then we ran into some shifting problems. The auto shift by Smith in it doesn't allow you to set the kill time. So with all the extra power, it was shifting hard. We're gonna go with a different system, a RSA Schnitz, which I have on my ZX14, which you can program shift time, shift between gears. It's very versatile and easy to make changes. So we're going to change that up and see what happens. This is a 1978. The first year Suzuki made the GS 1000, also called the skunk bike. This is just a comfortable, incredible bike to cruise and drive around on. I just picked this up last year. We'll be doing walkarounds on individual walkarounds on all these bikes. This is a 2011 ZX10R. Picked this up a couple years ago, and we had more Mafia flash it. I put a Works exhaust on it. Other than that, it's pretty much all stock, and it's just a total pleasure to take on a track day. Lots of power. Doesn't have the settings like the new bikes do for wheelie control, and if you put it on full A mode where the throttle comes on really quick, it will be pulling the front end off the ground in second gear quite easily. Just some memorabilia. This is a memorial from my father, who was very into car racing, and just a lot of little things that he really enjoyed in life and shared with me, and racing and stuff. And it just always keeps him in my mind. And he loved Gunsmoke, so I got the Gunsmoke collection, hanging that up. A couple other things. I sponsored AJ Jurgensen at I-80 Speedway and Harlan, where he ran, and he gave me his fender off his car. And I used to race a ZL11LE Camaro track days. When I sold it, I took some of the aero off the car that I had on it, and it's up there, making the wall look nice. Some other memorabilia. The 1100, aka the Sweat Hog. Just a thrill to ride. We have some faster bikes, but I'm always happy to get on these old classics. They're actually a little more challenging to get down the track. They like to wheelie, and this bike is just a thrill, and it starts and runs just fine. Another bike that I picked up, which was in the package deal with the Suzuki GS 1000, was this amazing GS 750. This was the first year. It's a 77. My friend Neil did the restore from his friend, and fortunately he was finally ready to sell it, and I picked it up. This bike just runs like brand new, and it looks 100% like it came off the showroom floor. And cruising on bikes isn't always about ripping around and going fast. The bike doesn't have a lot of power, probably 70 horsepower, but it just goes down the road the way it's supposed to. And I've already driven it to work once this year as well. We had some pretty crazy weather in February, so we had 70-degree days, and you got to take advantage of those. This is one of the favorites on my YouTube page that gets a lot of views on it. This is 1989 GS XR 1100. The engine's been bored out, and we'll do a walkthrough on it again. But this is just a super clean bike, and it just screams down the track. We have so much fun riding this bike. Somebody put an aluminum swing arm on it, and it's the most challenging bike I have at the drag strip, because it will wheelie anytime in first gear. You can't launch it really hard. I put these stickers on my bikes that these are the ones we've already went through and have them ready for the drag strip. But this bike with the Sidewinder pipe is so loud, and it has some slide bore carburetors on it. We spend a lot of time, Neil gets them ready to go, and I can polish on these bikes for hours with pleasure. Now we're coming through to my go-to sport bike for track days is the 2015 BMW S1000 RR, 100% stock. I just love this bike. Its power range, its adaptability for the modes for when you're getting started, and at the end of the day, when you're comfortable putting it in full race mode. The braking is second to none. You apply the front brakes, it equally applies the rear brakes, so it stops. Incredible. I was really contemplating on selling it after they closed the track at Heartland Park, thinking it's not a bike that I cruise around on. It's not a total comfortable position, but with hopes that they are going to reopen I-29, their road course, I'll hang on to it, because that is a challenging course that I want the bike that has the best capability of braking and handling at that track. And that brings us to the ZX14. I've got a lot of videos of it going down the drag strip. It never disappoints me. Yes, it is for the season, and I haven't made too many changes to it. Just went through, checked, cleaned the air filter, always checking the clutch. It has a sliding device clutch. It's not coming to my mind right now, but check the clutch, the fibers, all that's fine. Change the oil, just really clean it up. This bike does like to wheelie on a hard launch, so we went up from a 45 to a 43. Gear a little higher, get a little more speed. My best times are a 5.94 in the 8th mile and a 9.27 at 148. I need to lower it a little bit. The links that I have on, the Roaring Toys links, it's to the maximum lowering. I need some longer links, so I'd like to drop it down about another inch in the back, because I do have a lot of clearance back there, and we can always loosen the triple tree here from the front clamps, and I've seen people slam these down 3 more inches. So yeah, this bike just performs unbelievable. We have a pretty good project going on over here. This is a 2007 Suzuki GXR 1000. It runs really, really well. It's stretched. I bought it to do some drag racing with it, but the 1000cc bikes don't equate to heavier guys, you know, at my level. That's why I go with the Busas and the ZX14. They have so much more torque to get me down the track fast. I've had some decent times on it, 6.6 I believe, but I'll probably be selling this bike. It had some what a lot of people do to these bikes. They put their custom flashy lights on here, and so we're just taking the whole front system and putting it back to stock, so it's working really well. And you know, we'll go through and clean it really good and change oil, and yeah, I'll be putting it for sale. And then another project that we had was this is an 83 GS 1100, one of the first years of it, and it just is an amazing bike. We went through, took the head off, did a valve job on it, put the flat slide Mikuni carburetors on it, new tires, and we had everything going. And unfortunately, we had a little failure on the lift, more human error, and it tipped over and came off the lift, and it broke this system that they have on it for braking and the forks. I think it stiffens the forks when you break it. We got lucky. We didn't do too much body damage to it, but now we've got it going. We had a little issue with putting the air in the shocks. That's taken care of. It has a few engine leaks that Neil repaired for me the other night, and we're just going to clean it all up. And yeah, it's a great cruiser, and it zooms down the road. It really does. Very comfortable to ride as well. The footing position is amazing. But yeah, it's a really cool bike. But anyway, that's just a lengthy walkthrough. And you know, if you have time, I hope you can watch the whole video. And I'll be going through some of these other bikes individually. And yeah, thanks for watching my clips. I enjoy making them. It's a way to share a lot of the stuff we're doing out here with friends and new people as well. Camaro Bruce, later.